Hey everybody, we're at Minute Maid Park in Houston. This is Game 3 of the 2017 World Series. The series is tied at 1 game apiece. Game 1 was played on Strat-O-Matic. Game 2 was Payoff Pitch. And Game 4 will be History Maker Baseball, but today it's Replay Baseball. And it's a replay of Game 3, series tied at 1 apiece from Minute Maid Park. So we'll go over here and look at the starting pitchers for today's game. For the Astros, it'll be Lance McCullers. And if you look right here in his column 6, he does have the infield positions here, so that means he is a ground ball pitcher, so possibly that could take away some home run chances or fly ball chances and turn them into ground balls. And for the Dodgers, it'll be Yu Darvish. He will be on the mound representing the Dodgers. All right, so let me get everything set up here. We'll go through the lineups very quickly before the game starts. Chris Taylor will lead off in center field for the Dodgers. Corey Seager will bat second and play short. Justin Turner is the third baseman. He will hit third. Cody Bellinger bats cleanup and plays first base. Yasiel Puig is in right field, hitting fifth. Logan Forsythe hitting sixth and playing second base. Austin Barnes doing the catching, batting seventh. The DH is Jock Peterson. He will be hitting eighth, and batting ninth will be left fielder Enrique Hernandez, otherwise known as Kike Hernandez, but the cards say Enrique because if you don't have the emphasis or that stress mark or accent mark on the E for Kike, it could be misread as something offensive, so that's why they did it that way. All right, leading off for the Astros will be center fielder George Springer. Batting second at third base is Alex Bregman. Hitting third at second base is Jose Altuve. Batting cleanup at shortstop is Carlos Correa. Hitting fifth, playing first base, Yuli Gurriel. Hitting sixth in right field is Josh Reddick. Batting seventh in DH is Evan Gattis. Batting eighth in left field is Marwin Gonzalez. And batting ninth in catching, Brian McCann. All right, those festivities out of the way, we are ready to go. Chris Taylor will be leading things off here against Lance McCullers. That's a 4-6-2, so 4-6 for Taylor is a 5. 4-2 is the second baseman, and second baseman Altuve is a total of 2. That combined is a total of 7. And in column 4 with the infield back, that is a routine ground out. So, routine ground out. 4-3. And we're underway. Here's Corey Seager. That is a 5-1-3. 5-1 is a 4. 5-3. 5-3 is a 2. So that is a total of 6. 6 in column 5 is a walk. So 1 out walk to Seager. And that will send up Justin Turner, third baseman. We get a 1-5-2. 1-5 is a 2. 1-2 is a 1. That's a total of 3. And in column 1, number 3 is a strikeout for out number 2. So Turner with the whiff. 2 down for Cody Bellinger. 6-5. 6-5 for Bellinger is a 36. And anytime you get a 36 in column 6, that's an automatic strikeout. Bellinger down on strikes. And the inning is over. So half inning in the books. It is Dodgers nothing, Astros coming to bat. Okay, bottom of the first, George Springer will lead things off against Yu Darvish, and we get a 5-5-2. 5-5 is a 15. 5-2 is a 2. It's a 17 in column 2, and that's an infield single. And we also go to action column M. See what happens next. So right now Springer gets the single, and we bring in action chart column M. So we could have a wild pitch, we could have a balk, we could have a pickoff. There's all sorts of things that could happen. Red and white die, it's a total of 5, and that's checking for a wild pitch. And it says, if blue die is higher than the wild pitch rating, advance all runners on a wild pitch. Well, the blue die has a 6, so that's definitely going to be a wild pitch on Darvish. In fact, his rating is 0, so he is going to uncork it for sure. So it's a single, and now a wild pitch moves Springer to second. And here's Alex Bregman. It is a 2-5-2. 2-5 is a 16. 2-2 is a 1. That's a total of 17. It's a strikeout with the bases empty, but with men on, it's a fly to center. And there is 1 away. No provision there that I can see for the runner to go from second to third. Chart doesn't mention that, so it does mention about a sacrifice fly, but not about going from second to third. Here's Altuve. It's a 6-6, and that's the ballpark chart because we're in the shaded area. So Minute Maid Park, we're going to be looking at column 6. He's a right-handed batter, so we're looking at the bottom row here. Roll 1d6 and see if that number changes from a 9 to something else. So we roll 1d6. It's a 4, and it stays a 9. So it wasn't a 9 to begin with. It stays a 9. And then 6-5 on Darvish is a 4. That's a 13. And a 13 in column 6 is a home run, no doubt about it. That is a 2-run shot for Jose Altuve. And the Astros grab an early 2-0 lead on Mr. Darvish. And if you remember correctly, Darvish did have his issues in the World Series. Here's Carlos Correa. That is a 1-2-5. 1-2 is a 2. 1-5 is a 1. That's a strikeout. When you get anything less than 6 in column 1, it is a strikeout. 2 down for Yuli Gurriel. And if everybody remembers the little incident they had that cost Gurriel 5 games this year to start the season. So see what happens here. 6-4 for Gurriel is a 56, and I'm sorry, 58, and a 6-6 rather is a 5. That is a total of 63, and that is a double for Gurriel. So Gurriel doesn't hit a homer, but he does get a double, and that brings up Josh Reddick, the right fielder. 3-4 for Reddick is a 57, and that is a rare play possibility anytime you get a 57. So we're going to roll 1 die, see if it's even or odd. It is even, so that means we go to a comebacker to the mound, and that's going to be roll 1 die, gets the runner's speed. If the die is higher, he is out. Well, Reddick has a speed of 4. Gurriel has a speed of 3. So they're going to try for the runner at third. They're going to try to get, actually no, with 2 outs, the runner, the play is at first base. The book said, the chart says if it's 2 outs, the play is on the batter, and that's what this little thing says here. With 2 outs, play is on batter. So I don't have the option. I have to go after Reddick, even though he's a faster runner. So this has to be a 5 or a 6, or Reddick is safe. It's a 3, so Reddick is safe, and actually Gurriel would have been safe also. So now runners are at the corners. 2 outs. Evan Gattis. Darvish trying to stay in this game. Needs to get Gattis. 3-3. 3-3 is a 32, and a 3-5 is a 3. That's a total of 35 in column 3. And 35 in column 3 is a double. I'll show it. Column 3, number 35, is a double to center field. Runners advance 2 bases. Check with third base coach for any extra base attempts. So we know Gurriel is going to score on the double by Gattis. Now we need to check Reddick. Reddick runs at a 4. The ball was hit to center field, and the center fielder Taylor, his arm is a 4. So they're both even, 4 and 4. So to go to the third base coach, 4 and 4, that's a net 0. And then over here from center field, throws to home, from center field, move right 1 column. So from center field to home, we're going to move 1 column over here to your right. That means it's a +1 for the runner. So unless we roll a 10, he's going to make it. That's the only thing that's going to get him out is a 10. Other than that, he will score. And it's an 8, so he does score. So Reddick comes in on the double, and it's 4-0 just that quickly for the Astros as they are putting the hurt on Yu Darvish. That brings up Marwin Gonzalez, 2 outs, runner at second. 6-3 is a 36. That's a strikeout, and that will do it. But a 4 spot for the Astros is they get to Darvish pretty good here in the first. Send 8 to the plate, 4 score. Not 20 years ago, but 4 score. And at the end of 1, it is Houston 4 and LA nothing. All right, top of the second. Yasiel Puig is on to face Lance McCullers, giving that run support now. 1-5 for Puig is a 4. 1-5 is a 1. That's a total of 5. And, of course, that's less than 6. So in column 1, less than 6, it is a strikeout. So a strikeout for Puig brings up Logan Forsythe. 1-4. Could be another strikeout. 1-4 is a 3. 1-3 is a 1. That's another strikeout. So back-to-back strikeouts. 4 in a row now, actually, by McCullers. He struck out the last 2 in the first inning. Here's catcher Austin Barnes. 4-2 is a fielding check. 4-2 is an 11. 4-3 is a third baseman Bregman. He's a 2. That's a total of 13. That's an error check. Bregman at third base is an error rating of 43. The red and white dies at 31, so he makes the play. 5-3, and the inning is over. 1-2-3 go the Dodgers here in the top of the second. So we go to the bottom of the second. Still 4-0 Stros. Darvish will give it another go, but I'm sure the leash is going to be short for Dave Roberts. Bullpens are all well rested because they had that day off for travel. So here's McCann. 6-2 for McCann is another ballpark shaded area. Right now it's a 9. So we go over here. This time we're using the top column because he's a left-handed batter. I'm going to roll 1d6. It's a 5. So that number changes to a 10. So instead of a 9, we now have a 10. For Darvish, it's a 6-5. 6-5 is a 4. That's a total of 14, and that is a home run for Brian McCann. So Darvish getting bit by the gopher ball, and he did in real life because his column 6, if you don't give up a lot of home runs, you got a lot of 1s here. But with 3s and 4s, that means he gives up a lot of home runs, and he did it right there. So it's 5-0. Dodger bullpen is working. Here's George Springer, top of the order. That is a 2-6, and a 2-6 is another shaded area. So this time we're going to column 2, and column 2 right here in the middle. Roll 1d6. Doesn't matter if you're lefty or righty. Roll 1d6. We get a 3. 3 says it's a 2. It's a 2. So that raised number 3 now changes to a 2. The blue die is a 6, which means we are looking at the right fielder Puig. And Puig is a 5, so that's greater than the 2. So Puig will make the play. 1 down. These cards stick together on me. They're really high quality cards, but if they haven't been used in a while, they kind of stick together on you. All right, it's a 4-3. That's a fielding check. 4-3 is a 1. 4-1 is the first baseman Bellinger. Bellinger is a 2. It's a total of 3. And in column 4, the infield back, a 3 is an easy ground out for out number 2. Brings up Jose Altuve. 6-1 is a 16. And a 6-3 is a 4. That's a 20. And a 20 in column 6 is a deep fly to right field. And the inning is over. But the Astros pick up another run. After 2 complete from Minute Maid Park, it is Houston 5 and the Dodgers nothing. Okay, top of the third, Jock Peterson to lead things off. It's a 2-2, and that's a 1. That looks like a strikeout to me, and it certainly is. It's a 1 on McCullers. That's a total of 2, and anything less than 6 in column 2 is a strikeout. So McCullers has the strikeout pitch going tonight. Here's Kike Hernandez, otherwise known as Enrique Hernandez, or either way around, maybe reverse it. 2 1's a 49, 2 6 is a 1. That's a total of 50 in column 2. And a 50 in column 2 is a ground out shortstop to first. And it talks about being injured for 2 games. But I'm not doing injuries, so we're going to skip that. But in a regular season game, that would have been a potential injury if you were playing injuries. But there's 2 away for his Chris Taylor. 5-1 is a 4, and a 5-6 is a 4K. It's a total of 8, and that's going to be a walk. The K only means that he could get a strikeout somehow, but if there's a regular out. But in this case, it's a 2-out walk to Chris Taylor. Brings up Corey Seager. 5-1 is a 4. 5-1 is another 4. That's a total. I'm sorry, 5-1 is a 2. That's a total of 6, and it says base on balls, but with runner on first or the bases loaded, it's 2 balls. So there is a runner at first, so it's a 2-ball count. Here's Seager. 3-3, all 3s really. 3-3 is a 32. 3-3 is a 3. It's a total of 35 in column 3. And a 35 in column 3. We had it once before. 35 in column 3 is a double to center field. So it's a double to center. So Seager cracks a double. Now we'll see if Taylor can score. Taylor runs at a 5, so it's a very good chance he's going to score. Center fielder is Springer. He's got an arm of 4, so that's automatically a advantage of 1 for the batter. And then when the throw comes in, we've seen it before, when the throw comes in from center field to home, you move right. So he had a 1 advantage, now it's a 2. So on a 2, the only way he can be out is to roll a 12. Anything other than a 12, and he will score. I got a 10, so it's close, but he made it. So Chris Taylor slides in safely on that double, and the Dodgers are on the board, cut the lead to 5-1 for Justin Turner. 5-1 is a 50. I'm sorry, 5-1 is a 6, and a 5-6 is a 4. It's a 10. That is another walk. So McCullers finding column 5 a lot, and that's costing him some base on ball opportunities. Here's Cody Bellinger, chance for the Dodgers to get right back in this thing. 6-1 is a 16. That's not going to do it. 6-4 is a total of 2. That's a total of 18. 18 is a deep fly to left, and the inning's over. Dodgers do pick up a run, but they still trail it by a score of 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the third. Yu Darvish going to give it one more go. Bullpen is ready if they need it. Brandon McCarthy is loose if needed. We're going to see if Darvish can at least get one more inning out of him. Oh, 666. That's probably not good for Darvish. 6-6 is an 11. 6-6 is a 5. That's a 16. 16 in column 1 is a home run in the second deck. So that's going to do it for Darvish. I think that's all the signs that Dave Roberts needs. That is the 3rd home run allowed by Darvish, and he is out of there. So he is gone. And actually, I misspoke. It is Kenta Maeda who's going to be coming in, not McCarthy. So Kenta Maeda, who was a starter most of the year but went to the bullpen late, he's going to be in. And for Darvish, a very rough 2+ innings, and he gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs all earned on 3 home runs. He had a wild pitch. Let's see here. He walked nobody, struck out 2. And his hits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. So yeah, he just didn't have it. Here's Gurriel. 2-4 for Gurriel is a 11, and a 2-5 for Maeda is a 1. It's a total of 12 in column 2. 12 in column 2 is a single to left field, so base hit for Gurriel. He's 2 for 2 as the Astros continue to pound Dodger pitching. Here's Josh Reddick. It's a 1-6. That's a 45. That's a potential double play. When you get a 45 there, it's a comebacker to the pitcher. So we're going to roll 1 die against the pitcher's defensive rating. If the die is higher, scored as a double play. The defensive rating for Maeda is a 1, so if anything other than a 1, it's a double play. And it's a 5, so it will be a double play. We'll call it 1-6-3 double play. So that helps Maeda. 2 quick outs. Base is empty for Evan Gattis. So 5-6. 5-6 is a 1K, so we could go to the action chart if he reaches. 5-4 is a 2. It's a total of 3. It's going to be ground out to second, so we don't have to worry about that. Inning is over, but the run does come in on the homer. And at the end of 3, it is Houston 6 and LA 1. Okay, top of the 4th, Yasiel Puig leads things off. So 1-1, that's a 15, and a 1-6 is a 1, that's a 16. And in column 1, a number 16 is an infield single plus a possible error. So it says here, look at the blue die. Blue die is a 6, and the blue die being a 6 says into the hole at shortstop. Hurry up throw to first may be wild. Roll against the error rating of the fielder. So the error rating of the shortstop, Correa, is a 54. So we're going to roll. If it's a 54 or 55 or higher, it'll be an error. It's a 52, so it's not an error, but it will be an infield single for Yasiel Puig. Gurriel was able to snatch it and make it so it wasn't an error. Here's Forsythe. And we get a 5-4. 5-4 is a 5. 5-6 is a 4. It's a total of 9. And a 9 in column 5 is a walk. So that's going to put runners at first and second as McCullers starting to run into some control issues here, and the A.J. Hinch may be concerned enough to get the bullpen going early. Here's Austin Barnes. Don't want to blow this lead. 1-1 is a 25. 1-5 is a 1. It's a 26. And that's a single off the pitcher's glove plus a possible error. Runner advanced one base. Pitcher recovers but may throw wildly. Roll against the pitcher's error rating. The error rating on McCullers is an 11, so almost guaranteed to be an error here. Unless we roll an 11. It's a 22, so it is going to be an error. So that's going to be a single for Barnes. And Puig will come around to score on the error. So he will come around on that error on the throw and score. No RBI given. Forsythe will end up going to third base, and Barnes will make it to second on the E1. So an error there on McCullers. A little bit of sloppy play going on. Runners at second and third. Nobody out for Joc Pederson. 2-4 for Pederson. 2-4 is a 3. 2-3 is a 1. That's a strikeout. Much needed strikeout for McCullers. Out number 1. Infield's playing back. They want to get the out. Here's Enrique Hernandez, or Kike. 6-4 for Kike. 6-4 is a split chance. Now this is an interesting split chance. An 11 against a lefty would be a chance for a home run, but a 16 is going to be a fly out. So 16 added to the 5 here is going to make that a total of 20. 20 in column 6 is a deep fly to right, but it is a sacrifice fly, so it will score the run. Sacrifice fly for out number 2, but it will score Forsythe from third base. That is an unearned run, or probably an unearned run, I should say, because he got to third on that throwing error. So if nobody else gets a hit, it will be an unearned run. But potential home run turned into a sac fly that time. So 2 runs in for the Dodgers, 2 outs, Chris Taylor. 6-5 for Taylor is a 36. That is a strikeout. I'm sorry, it's a 5-6. I misread it. 5-6 is a 2. And a 5-1 is a 2. That's a total of 4. And that's a ground out to short to end the inning. Gotta be careful how I read those things. Make sure I read red, white, not white, red. All right, so that's going to end the inning. But 2 runs come in for the Dodgers. So they've cut into the lead just a smidgen. Score now is 6-3. And it's up to Kenta Maeda to hold the fort while his team tries to rally. So Kenta Maeda back on the bump. We'll be facing Marwin Gonzalez. Get a 4-3. 4-3 is a 25. 4-3 is the third baseman, and in this case that is Justin Turner. He is a 2. So that's a total of 27, which means the bunt down the line. Let's see here. Roll 2 dice against the fielder's range. If both dice are higher, batter is out. All right, his range is a 2. So if we roll 2 dice and they're both higher than 2, he'll be out. And they're not. They got a 1. It's less than 2, so that's going to be a bunt single turned in by Marwin Gonzalez. Caught Justin Turner playing back and dropped one down for a leadoff bunt single. Here's McCann. 3-6, that is the left-right split. Anytime you get a red 3 and a white 6, that's the left-right split. McCann's a lefty, Maeda's a righty. That's an automatic single with a 2-base advancement. So McCann takes advantage of that left-right split. I always circle left-right splits on these kind of games just to see how often they come up. So here we got runners at the corners. Nobody out for Springer. 6-3, that's a 31, and a 6-5 is a 5, that's a 36. That is a short fly out to right. Runners have to hold. So not deep enough for a sacrifice. 1 away. Brings up Alex Bregman. Get a 3-6, that's a left-right split again. But this time we got a righty on righty. And that's when you get a righty on righty, that is a leaping catch by the shortstop for the out. There's nobody on second. If there were, you could check for a double play, but there's nobody on second, so it's simply going to be a line out to the shortstop as Seager makes the play. 2 down, so Maeda 1 out away from getting out of this. Here's Altuve. 4-6. 4-6 is a 2. He's going to do it. 4-6 is a 2. 4-4 is the shortstop Seager. That's a ground ball to Seager. And the inning is over. So runners on the corners, nobody out, and the Astros could not take advantage. At the end of 4, it's the Astros 6, the Dodgers 3. Top of the 5th, here's Corey Seager. We get a 4-2. 4-2 is a 1. That's an automatic ground out, and the 6 for the blue die means it goes to Correa. I'm sorry, to Altuve at second. So there's a 1 out. Easy 4-3 ground out. 1 away for Justin Turner. 4-5 for Turner. 4-5 is an 18. 4-2 is the second baseman Altuve. Altuve is a 2. That's a total of 20. And 20, that's a potential ground out. But we go to the umpire chart on that 20. And if it's a 1 or a 6, he'll be safe. Anything else, he'll be out. So close play, and he is out. That 2 means he's out. So Altuve makes the play on Turner. 2 down for Cody Bellinger. And that is a 6-1. 6-1 is a 16. 6-6 is a 4. That's a 20. That's a deep fly to right. And this time McCullers goes 1-2-3 against the Dodgers. Nothing doing for LA here in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Still a 6-3 ball game, and Maeda still going to hang in there for at least one more inning. We got the DH, so he doesn't have to worry about being pinch hit for. He can stay in as long as he's effective. And here is Correa. It's a 1-6. That's a 45. That's an automatic strikeout when nobody's on base. So there's 1 away. Brings up Gurriel. 5-6. 5-6 for Gurriel is a 45. 5-1 is a 1. It's a 46, and that is a fly out to center field. If people are on base, we would go to the action chart, but if the base is empty, it is just a simple can of corn to center. 2 down for Josh Reddick. 1-1 for Reddick is a 10, and a 1-1 is a 1. It's an 11. That's an infield single. So Reddick beats out an infield single for a base hit, his second of the game. Keeps the inning going for Evan Gattis, DH. Gattis doubled and grounded out. It's a 6-5. That's a 36. That's a strikeout. Ends the inning. So we played 5 complete here at Minute Maid Park, and the score remains Houston 6, LA 3. Top of the 6th, we have a new pitcher. Brad Peacock is on for the Astros. For the McCullers, he went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, walked 4, struck out 5. But his point of weakness inning was getting ready to start. He's already had, his batter's face is 22, and he's already faced 22, so he's right at his point of weakness. So he was not known to go deep into games. So Brad Peacock is usually the guy that follows him. So here he goes against Yasiel Puig. 3-4. 3-4 is a 30. 3-1 is a 1. It's a 31 in column 3, and that's a line out to left field. And Puig is retired for out number 1. Here's Logan Forsythe. That is a 3-4 again. 3-4 is a 57, so that is a rare play. Looking for even or odd. We get an even, so it's a comebacker to the mound. Forsythe is a 3, so this has to be higher than a 3 to throw him out. It's not, so Forsythe will get an infield hit. 1 away for Austin Barnes. 5-5 for Barnes is a 20. 5-3 is a 4. I'm sorry, it's a 5. So that's a 25, and that's a walk. Walk, and it says we're going to action column M, but I'll have to see if that makes sense with the runner in front of him. Action column M, we're going to go there because it does talk about a wild pitch. So we're going to go ahead and go to action column M. We get a 9 in action column M, and a 9 is a wild pitch, and the blue die is a 1. So the wild pitch rating on Peacock is a 0, so 1 is still higher than that. So I'm sorry about that. There will be a wild pitch involved. That'll move the runners up, and that can be big. A single now can score 2 runs. So here's Barnes. Move this out of the way. I bought a tripod, but the focus on it's not very good with the camera for some reason, so I got to work on that. So hopefully I'll get that fixed shortly. 6-4 is a 41. 6-2 is a 1. That is a total of 42. 42 is a line drive hit to left field, so that's a base hit. We know 1 run's going to score, that being Forsythe. Now will Barnes score? That's the question. We checked the blue die was a 2, which means that the fielder in this case is the left fielder Gonzalez. And it says here Roll 1 die against the outfielder's defensive rating. The die's higher score as a double. So the defensive rating for Gonzalez is a 3. So we're going to roll and see if we get anything higher than a 3. We do not. It's exactly 3, so it is not going to be a double. It'll be a single. Let's see here. If there was a run on first, roll 1 die. Okay, it doesn't say anything about that. So we're just going to go ahead and call it a single. And Barnes will stop at third base. So runners are at the corners for did I read that right? Did I move? I'm thinking I had the wrong card there, now that I think about it, because that was a 20, no, that was a 40 something, right? In column 6. Sure was. So let me go back, because I think I had the wrong batter. I can't rewind the video, but I believe that's what happened. I don't think I moved Barnes the way I should have after that wild pitch. So he rolled a 6-4, which gave him a 41. So if he had a 6-4 on Peterson, who was doing the actual at bat, that's a 59, and a 59, and I believe it was a 5. 59. Well, that's going to take it into the double into the corner. So actually, it's going to be a double for Peterson. Now, with the runner's score, let's see here. Sorry about that confusion. Roll 1 die against the outfielder's defensive rating. This die is higher. It's at least a double. Roll 1 die against... No, wait a minute. I'm in the wrong spot. It is a double. With 2 outs, runner on 4 or 5, speed scores from first. Well, it's not 2 outs, and he doesn't have the speed, so it's pretty much going to stay the same there. So fortunately, that didn't affect anything dramatically. But it does give an RBI double to Peterson. And here's Kike Hernandez. So the Dodgers trying to fight back here. 5-6 is a 4. 5-3 is a total of 5. That's a total of 7, and that's going to be a walk. And that's going to put runners at, well, it's going to load the bases actually. So the bases are now loaded for Chris Taylor, and A.J. Hinch may have that bullpen going fast again. 6-6 for Taylor is a 10, and a 6-6 for Peacock is a 4. That's a 14, and that is a grand slam home run for Chris Taylor. And just like that, the Dodgers have come back and taken the lead in a wild one here at Minute Maid Park. And Peacock is a little bit stunned. Here's Seager. 1-2 is a 1. 1-3 is that's going to be a strikeout for out number 2. And now that'll bring up Turner. Turner, a 6-5 is a 36. That will be a strikeout. So Peacock does come back to strike out the last 2 he faces, but a shell-shocked inning as the Dodgers pick up 5 runs here in the 6th. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. The Dodgers now lead it 7-6. Bottom of the 6th, new pitcher for the Dodgers is Ross Stripling. Maeda in 3 shutout innings of relief, and he would qualify for the win if they hold on. 5-6 for Gonzalez is a 1. 5-6 for Stripling is a 3. It's total of 4, and that is a ground out to short. So there's 1 away. Brings up the number 9 hitter, Brian McCann. 6-1 is a 16. 6-2 is a 3. It's a 19. That's a fly to right. 2 down. Brings up the top of the order, George Springer. I think the Astros a little bit shell-shocked right now. 1-4. 1-4 for Springer is a 35. 1-4 is a 1. It's a 36. That's a ground out to third. And the Astros go quietly here in the bottom of the 6th. Completed 6 innings of play at Minute Maid Park. It's the Dodgers 7. The Dodgers 8 and the Astros 6. Top of the 7th, new pitcher for the Stros is Chris Stavinsky. They'll be facing Bellinger. 6-3 for Bellinger is a 16, and a 6-1 is a 3. It's a total of 19. That's another deep fly out to right field. 1 away. Brings up Yasiel Puig. 5-2 is a 1, and a 5-5 is a 3. It's a total of 4. That is a ground out to short, and there's 2 down for Logan Forsythe. 1-6 is a 35. 1-3 is a 1. It's a 36. That's a ground out to third. and the pitchers now maybe restoring some order. We go to the 7th inning stretch here at Minute Maid Park. It is the Dodgers 8 and the Astros 6. Okay, Ross Stripling in for his 2nd inning of work facing Alex Bregman. It's a 3-2. 3-2 is the shaded area. It's now a 2. It could change to something else. So we'll look at the column 3 on the ballpark card. Column 3, number 3, is still a 2, so it stays a 2. The blue number, 3-2 on Stripling, is a 2. It's a total of 4 in column 3, and that's a short fly out to right field, 1 away. Here's Altuve. 5-4 for Altuve is a 45. 5-5 is a 2. It's a 47 in column 5. 47 in column 5 is a fly out to center field. Nobody's on base, so we don't need to go to the action chart. Here's Correa. 3-2. 3-2 for Correa is a 2. 3-2 for Stripling is a 2. That's a total of 4. That's another short fly to right. Inning is over, so Stripling pitches 2 shutout innings of relief and sets his team up for a possible showdown for setup and closer. We go to the 8th. It's still 8-6. Top of the 8th, Chris Devenski back on. He went 1-2-3 in the 7th, so I'm going to keep him in there. Austin Barnes, 5-2 is a 1. 5-6 is a 4. That's a total of 5. 5, ground out to third. There's nobody on base. There's no walk. It's simply going to be a ground out to third since nobody was on. 1 away. Here's Jock Peterson. That's a 5-4, but I'm rolling a lot of column 5s in this game. I don't like that. I like to be in the other columns. 5-4 is a 2. 5-1 is a 2. That's a total of 4. That's a ground out to short. So fortunately, keeping away from some of those walks, but those column 5s generate a lot of walks, and I don't like walks. Here's Kike Hernandez, 6-2. 6-2 is a 7 for Kike. 6-2 on Devenski is a 3. It's a total of 10, and that's a base hit for Kike. Plus, there's a star there, so Kike has a chance to steal. So, pause the video and get our steal check. Okay, so when you're going to do the steal, I use this chart here. Pitcher's hold rating, catcher's defensive rating. The hold rating on Devenski is a 2. The catcher defensive rating is a 2. That means that's a 26. So we come over here. It says the number at the intersection will be the battery's combined stolen base defense rating. Roll 2 dice. If dice is equal or less than the stolen base defensive rating, the runner holds. So basically, we have to roll a 26 or less to be a hold. Otherwise, he's going to steal. Kike is going to steal, and he does. So Kike Hernandez steals second base with 2 outs, bringing up Chris Taylor. So he's in scoring position. 6-3 for Taylor is a 36. So he's going to strike out, and the stolen base didn't really matter. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. It is still 8-6. Okay, new pitcher for the Dodgers is Josh Fields, and you see he has those 2 C6s. That means if we roll in that entry in column 4, we will move over to column 6. It represents a fly ball pitcher. Stripling, 2 innings pitched, nothing, didn't allow anything. So here's Gurriel to start things off. 3-4. 3-4 is a 57. That's the rare play check. If it's even or odd, it is even. So we're going to have a ground ball back to the mound. Gurriel's a 3. We need to roll more than a 3 to get him out. And we do. It's a 6. So Gurriel is retired on a 1-3 putout. 1 away. And that's going to bring up Josh Reddick. 4-4 for Reddick is a 2. And a 4-6 is a second baseman, which in this case, Forsythe is a 2. It's a total of 4. And it's a ground out to second. Now, had that blue die been either a 2 or a 5, we would have shifted to column 6, and there would have been potential ground fly ball possibilities. And it could have even been a home run. You never know. 2 outs. Here's Evan Gattis. It's a 3-2. 3-2 for Gattis is a 2. 3-5 is a 1. It's a total of 3, and that's a dribbler to the catcher. Austin Barnes comes out from behind the plate, makes the play. Inning is over. So we go to the 9th. Score is still 8-6. Top of the 9th, new Astro pitcher is Luke Gregerson. The Devenski went 2 innings, gave up a hit, got a strikeout, nothing else. So Devenski will be in to face Corey Seager. And we get a 2-3 for Seager. 2-3 is a 1, and a 2-1 is a 1. That's a strikeout. So 1 away for Justin Turner. Get a 2-1. 2-1 is a 38. 2-6 is a 1. That's a 39. And that is a ground out pitcher to first. 2 down for Cody Bellinger. That is a 5-5. 5-5 is a 40. 5-6 is a 4. That's a 44. And 44 is a walk. And there's also an action column D. So we're going to have a walk and action column D. Roll this dice for action column D. We get a 9. So on action column D, a number 9 is a plus. And the plus says stolen base or caught stealing. If blue die is higher than catcher's defensive rating, it's a stolen base. Catcher defensive rating for McCann is a 2. The blue die is not higher, so it will be a stolen base. Because if it was higher, it'd be a caught stealing. Oh, I'm sorry, I got it backwards. If it's not higher, runner's caught stealing. My bad. So he is caught stealing. So Bellinger caught stealing. We'll call it 2-6 to end the inning. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Astros. It is 8-6. All right, bottom of the 9th. That means it's Kenley Jansen time. He's facing Marwin Gonzalez. It's a 4-3. 4-3 is a 25 and a 4-5. But that means column 6. So that's going to take away. This is where we go to the fly ball rating. Because a 4-5 is going to move this over to here to column 6. So that's a 2. We're also going to move here to column 6. That's a strikeout. So Gonzalez will strike out. So, in fact, he's not a ground ball pitcher. Didn't allow that bunt single attempt. Here's McCann. It's a 5-5. That's a 38. And a 5-6 is a 2. That's a 40. And that is a hit by pitch. So he gets plumped. And there is, nope, there it would have been a strikeout had he gotten the out, but it's simply a hit by pitch. So the tying run, George Springer, is at the plate. It's a 2-4 for Springer. 2-4 is a 2. 2-1 is a 1. That's a strikeout. So Jansen 1 out away from ending this and giving the Dodgers a 2-1 lead. Here's Bregman. That's a 1-5. 1-5 for Bregman's a 2. 1-4 is a 1. That's a strikeout. Jansen strikes him out. And the ball game is over. So the Dodgers, down by a score of 6-1 after 3, comes back with 7 unanswered and wins the ball game by the final score of 8-6. Winning pitcher was Kenta Maeda. The losing pitcher was Brad Peacock, and Jansen gets the save. All right, so that's it from here. Game 4 will be History Maker Baseball. And until next time, we'll see you all down the road.